How you doing, people? I am Dave Rubin. This is once again the Rubin Report, and I have truly two of my favorite all-time guests, Gina Grad and Jimmy Dore. That's a pretty powerful statement. Do you guys?
Yeah, thank you.
You feel good about that?
I feel great.
Jimmy, how do you feel?
I feel good that you like me more than Ben.
That's I have a list, and this week you're right above Ben Megley.
Wait a second. According to everyone on YouTube, aren't you the same people?
We are the same people. Yes, and I'm Jewish.
Right.
Yes,
right.
That's what they always say. Jimmy Dore is Jewish. All right, here we go. People, everything that you put online is going to be hacked into, or someone is going to get it that you don't want to get it, or the government's going to get it, or the NSA is going to get it, or Anonymous is going to get it, or something like that. This time, of course, it's Snapchat. You probably heard about this already. A third-party Snapchat client called SnapSaved was hacked into this week, and about 90,000 snaps were hacked, and about 9,000 videos were stolen. We've got a little bit more info for you. The file was first posted online via viralpop.com, which is a bogus website. Thousands of people downloaded the large file of stolen photos and videos, which was shared like crazy on 4chan and Reddit. Most of the affected users are from Europe, which make up about a third of its overall audience, and the victims are split fairly between males and females, and much of the content is explicit in nature. Also, a lot of the content might be underage, so now there's all kinds of other legal issues that are going to arise out of this. So, of course, the first question, anytime we do anything on this, are you surprised? I mean, we talk about this all the time. Between the hacking and the NSA and everything else, does this surprise you somebody got into Snapchat?
Not anymore. I mean, I remember when this was surprising stuff, and we were all terrified, and oh my God, how could this happen? How could you invade somebody's privacy like this? But no, how can you be surprised anymore? Jennifer Lawrence said, I hope you cowards cower in the corner and you're horrible and you should be ashamed of yourself. And now that celebrities are saying it, I think people are paying attention. But are we surprised that somebody illegally downloaded a file and put it on everybody's Snapchat website or app, which is an app? So, basically little kids can send a picture of their boobs to other people and hope it's going to disappear?
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
Not surprised. The other thing, Jimmy, are you on the Snapchat?
I mean, it doesn't disappear?
You can't believe it. You can't believe
You're kidding. Wow. Well, you think I'll never be president now.
That's it. That's it.
Well, unless they don't mind a self-relating president. Anyway, the point is...
There's an image for you.
No, this is great. By the way, they shared it on 4chan, which I used to have a goatee when I had a double chan, which is a little bit different. But what is the question?
The question is, are you surprised? Can you believe it? I mean, I'm just appalled. I can't believe that somebody hacked into Snapchat.
The next thing you're going to tell me, first of all, how is this Y2K going to work out? I'm still worried about that. But the next thing you're going to tell me is that the government's reading my emails. Yes, of course. Everything's public anymore. Anything you put on your phone, forget about it.
It's getting harder and harder to feel sympathy for people because this is so common. You have to protect yourself, and it's not by doing extra layers of security on your computer. It's about you don't take naked pictures anymore.
I think everybody should we should all take a nude selfie of ourselves
and put it out there.
Put it up there so that this is over with.
I completely agree with that. Don't you think that Gina's going to do it right now?
They shouldn't have cut away. I'm done. It happened.
This was about to be our most viewed video ever. Jimmy, you could do it too. I don't know.
I'll do it.
They would be that. But is there a little difference with Snapchat because it skews so young? So it's the sympathy thing that you don't have the sympathy maybe for adults that realize what's going on here. But this really is 13-year-old kids. I was on Snapchat. Literally, I got it for 3 days. I posted my Snapchat on Twitter, and people were just sending me stupid pictures, mostly of their faces, with crazy faces.
Really?
But yeah, and it was kids mostly. So I was like, all right, I'm done with this. So there's a little sympathy though for kids because they're just getting it and they don't know. They don't really realize, of course, right?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not a parent, and so in my mind, I'm the best parent because I don't have any kids. So of course, I do it better than people with carbon-based children.
Yeah.
But I'm just wondering, how do you let it get to that? And I don't know because I'm not a parent, and their little free little will minds will do whatever they want. But they're taking pictures of their butts, they're taking pictures of their penises, they're taking pictures of everything, and they're going, oh my God, what have I done? Now everyone in middle school has seen it. I don't know what you do. Just stop doing that.
Yeah. Jimmy, if you had kids, what would you do? Because every kid now, my 4-year-old nephew has an iPad. All these kids have this stuff. You can't stop them, right? How could you really stop them from downloading an app that you can't watch these kids 24 hours a day.
I don't
Unless
know.
there's an app for that.
I've asked people with kids about this. The genie's out of the bottle. You know, I mean, your kid has a computer. It's all over with. Everything. They have all access to all porn. I mean, I don't know how people raise kids today.
Yeah.
I don't have a kid. I won't even let my dog on the computer.
And you know it's sad when I was at Disneyland yesterday with a 6-year-old, a beautiful, innocent little 6-year-old who was trying to explain her Kindle to Tinkerbell. And God bless Tinkerbell, she goes, "What is a Kindle? Is that the name of a fairy?" And she's like, "No, it's my Kindle." I'm like, why does this say? And I get it. It's awesome. It's technology. It's amazing. But it makes me a little sad.
Yeah. Are you guys on overload with all this stuff? Because it's hit me that like
I go to overload.com whenever I feel like that.
that's probably a porn site too,
bed
right?
sheets, or is that Overstock?
That's
Overstock.
Overload is something else entirely.
Right.
No, really, I'm like totally on overload. Like I love Twitter, of course. That's my main thing. And then I'm not sure which one he's
That's
laughing
funny. Overload.com is a different thing.
at. That's a different thing.
I usually know these things.
Overload. I want to know what overload.com is. Everyone's pausing.
Well, I'm focusing on the load part.
It's the load part. It's a porn thing. Okay, we got it. Like for me, it's like I love Twitter. We're doing this on Facebook, of course. I'll do the Instagram once a day, but I can't take anymore. I officially cannot take anymore. You on board with that?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Can
Please.
I step in? I can't take Facebook anymore. I
Yeah.
am so sick and tired of finding out all the different ways that my friends are racists and assholes. It's like, oh, I didn't know you were an asshole. Thanks for the status. I had a guy the other day, swear to God, they're talking about the Adrian Peterson thing, you know, where he whipped his kid on the genitalia. It was no big deal. He's a nice guy.
He had his reasons.
He's a great guy. He was raised different culture. And but there was a guy on Facebook going, oh, I'm glad my parents beat me because kept me out of prison. I'm like, you ever been to prison? Just filled with people who weren't hitting them as kids. Oh, a bunch of coddled, spoiled motherfuckers.
I was going to say, you know what they all say at their trials? Hey, it's my fault. Spare the rod, spoil the child.
Yes.
Put me away.
Well, I guess at the end of the day, it's like we're not supposed to know this much about everyone that
Yes!
we know, right? Like that's the key to this whole thing. Is
Everyone's reprehensible if you read their diary. Right?
Yeah. All right, final thought on this. Did you guys see this? You should write that one down. That's good. Did you guys
Is
see
that
this
the name of your
Elo?
autobiography, by
Yes,
the way?
it is.
All right, sorry.
Elo, that's the new one now. They're trying. It's going to be a minimalist, no ads. So like, I saw it. Someone invited me. I had to sign up because I was
too.
like, I don't know if this thing's going to blow up. So I got elo.com/Dave Rubin. You better follow me on there because. Okay, let's move on. ISIS. Yeah, have you heard about them? This thing continues, and now. There's some interesting stuff coming out of our media and our government, basically that the stories are not quite matching up. If you listen to what our government is saying and what our elected officials are saying, it sounds like these strikes are doing something, these airstrikes. But if you listen to our military commanders, no, it actually isn't working. And the media is sort of half between because they don't really do a great job. The two areas that people are focusing on right now are Kobane, which is a city on the Turkish-Syrian border, which is under attack by ISIS. And the Kurds are involved over there, and it sounds like Turkey's kind of attacking the Kurds are attacking the Turks. ISIS is attacking both of them. They're both attacking ISIS. We're sort of in the middle of it. And then the Anbar province in Iraq. So it is a big freaking mess, and it's completely mixed messages. And we were talking about this a little bit before the show. I don't know what to believe with any of this anymore. I watch the beheading videos. I feel like either they're made up or I can't tell who's doing them or if they're just trying to goad us into war. And now I'm listening to Josh Earnest, our press secretary, and he's just a bullshit artist. And everybody on the news. I don't know what to believe. I don't know what we're doing. Take it away, Jimmy.
Well, I'll say there's the two things that I want to know is, okay, so why are we there? What are we trying to accomplish? We're not going to destroy ISIS. We can't get rid of them. They're people, right, with a point of view. You can't get rid of a point of view. So, and why, if Turkey has the third largest army and Saudi Arabia has the fourth largest, why are we over there fighting? Now, I say this before. I told you, so like, now I feel like someone's going to go, because of this dummy. Like, I've been reading as much as I can read. I don't understand why we are the ones over there doing this. It's because we feel like we have to fix what we broke in Iraq. But this didn't start in Iraq. It started in Syria, and it started because of a drought, which I've been saying for a month.
Yeah. But
so I don't know why. That's the second thing I don't. And you say the beheading videos, they must have known. They're trying to goad us. That's exactly what they were doing, Dave. So they knew if they cut off the heads of 2 American journalists, we would bomb them. Why would they do that. They wanted us to bomb them because now they're against the infidel. They're against the big United States. So now all the other Muslims are supposed to rally to their side, which is happening.
Right. So I want to focus on your first point first, which is this idea that there are these other countries with armies right there. As you just said, Turkey, I think it's the third, and Saudi Arabia, is it the fourth? I'm not sure.
It's
but
fourth.
it's pretty big. We give all these countries weapons. Why are we giving everybody weapons all the time if they're not allowed to use them? Or if they just choose not to use them and then we still have to do it anyway?
Doesn't it make us look kind of impotent if we don't get involved, whether we have a stake in it or not? Don't we just have to do it
which is pretty
just to
sad.
show the world that we're a presence and we're coming in, we're handling it? Even if we screw it up worse, maybe we fix it, maybe we don't. It's a coin toss. But if we don't somehow jump in and get involved, then people forget we're there.
I think people remember.
And that's what I'm saying. And I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm saying this might be the mentality that, but if we're not somehow in the mix, then all of a sudden we don't count. Our vote doesn't count.
I agree.
So we have like an inferiority complex about war. Like if there's a war going on somewhere, we better get involved because we have FOMO. We have war FOMO.
Right.
FOMO is fear of missing out.
But on
You
the
know
other
that
hand,
if you were on Snapchat. That's what's,
On the other
that's what
hand-
they're usually
I missed out
Snapchatting.
on
It's
that.
you missed out on that
But
one.
America does get blamed either way, a lot of
Yes.
times. So
This is-
either you're so big and powerful and you couldn't spend 5 minutes trying to help these people, or why don't you stay out of it? It's not your problem. So who knows anymore? I think our hands are tied, but I don't exactly think we're there for altruistic reasons.
Yeah. So what is it with?
why are we there?
Well, right. Why are we there? Are we now going to try to install new regimes in some of this place? Are we trying to ultimately topple Assad? But Assad, I mean, we were literally going to go to war with Assad a year ago, and now we're bombing the people that are fighting Assad. I mean, that's how crazy this is.
Well, that's what we say we're doing, Dave. But if you just kind of alluded to at the top of the segment, we're actually hurting Assad. Oh, wait a minute. Is that intentional?
Right.
When we're saying we're trying to, because they wanted to go in and bomb Assad last year. We pushed back.
We were completely against it, for the record.
You and I were against it. We were out in front of that. So they didn't go in, but now they got a couple of beheading videos. Now we do go in. We start bombing who we say are the beheaders. Turns out we're bombing Assad. Wait a minute. Maybe that was the plan all along. I don't know, because nothing makes sense.
So that goes to my original question.
Yeah.
How do you know who to trust? When you flick the TV channels and you're watching this stuff and you know you're getting propaganda from MSNBC and Fox and CNN, whatever, how do you know who to trust? Because I have no idea anymore.
I have less an idea than you because you're super smart and informed, and I'm just sitting here in a green shirt.
Television.
But then that question makes me wonder, is anybody in charge? Does anybody know what they're doing? Or is there some one big secret thing that none of the rest of us are supposed to know about, but it's happening behind the curtains? Or is the secret that nobody knows what's going on, and they're just
that's the
scrambling?
scariest secret of all.
Yeah, so maybe we'll just it'll look like somebody's in charge.
Yeah.
I just, again, General Smedley Butler, war is a racket. Someone's making billions of dollars off this right now. There's a handful of people getting very rich who have been getting very rich since 2001, and it's not stopping. Right, because we don't have a draft, so it's not going to ever stop.
Yeah.
This is going to be perpetual war. What happened to all these politicians saying we're broke and we can't afford Social Security, Medicare, we can't fix our bridges or roads, we have 40 kids per classroom because we're broke. We're the poorest country in the world.
No water in Detroit. Don't forget about that.
There's no water in Detroit, except for the fact that we're the richest country in the world and we have twice the size of the economy of China. People forget that. Yet we're supposed to be broke. We don't have any money for the people, but we have endless money for bombs in the Middle East. Endless.
Yeah.
I mean, how many more billions of dollars is this going to? They say 30 years now. We never even discussed it. We never even debated it. No one's even talked about this or what our goals are. How are we going to fix it? What are we even trying to fix? This is their fucking territory. These are Sunnis and Shias fighting each other, and they've been fighting each other for thousands of years. And we think we're going to fix it with a couple of cruise missiles?
Yeah, and by the way, we just signed 2 weeks ago this agreement that we're going to be in Afghanistan for another 12 years, which really means another 50 years. Wait, but just two more quick things, because I think we're on to something here. Why is it that these countries then, so what does it say about America that we're so quick to war, and I think maybe you answered this already, that when they're not on our border, we still want to go to war, but Turkey, Saudi Arabia, all those countries there, Lebanon, they're literally on their border, and yet they're not going to war. So what does that fundamentally say about I'm not talking about the establishment that wants to go to war maybe, or the profiteers. I'm just saying the general Americans that are like, let's go to war.
Turn it into a parking lot.
Yeah, what does that say about us?
Well, that says that we haven't experienced war on our shores. That's what that says. We haven't been bombed. ground. We don't know what that's like. So to us, it's a video game, right? The only thing we've ever had was 9/11, right? And that was just images to most of America anyway. Nobody's town got bombed. Nobody had to worry about their electronic rig being bombed. Nobody had to go through a war yet in the United States. That's what that is. And they think, they're manipulated by the media that wants them to think that it's okay. And everybody they look to on the media says, yes, we have to do this, so they think it's okay.
That's really interesting. So they're more cautious because they're on the border where they know if they go to war, it could just come back to them.
And that makes sense. What you said, it sounds very, crystallized. Well, let them eat cake. Just bomb them. Level the place. What are we talking about? Why are we sitting around talking? Literally, again, I was at Disneyland 2 days ago, and there was a man walking around Fantasyland with a shirt that says "Bomb First." So this is what people think. This is what a lot of people think.
I like how almost everything you'll be able to bring back to something that happened in Disneyland, which really is the most American thing there is. Okay, last point on this, because we're going over. We have no congressional authority for this war. That's on top of everything else. They sort of cheated us, and they said, well, we were already at war with Iraq, kind of, so we're just going to let that go. But then the Syria war, there was no debate. Congress went on vacation. Obama didn't call them back, but he doesn't have to. They're supposed to do their job and give war authorization. So I'm more angry at our system, I think, than I'm angry at the bombs. Like that, to me, they've just utterly, all of them, the president and they've all just utterly failed us.
Well, do you think they're taking a sort of relief in that? Hey, it's not my fault, it's the system.
Of course, that's what they're doing. Boehner's going, well, Obama should call us back and have us vote. But since when does he want to give a shit what Obama thinks? Jimmy, bring us home.
Well, politicians are always going to act like, cowards, right? And so that's why there used to be a fourth estate that would keep them honest and call them out on their bullshit, so they would always worry about that. Well, they don't have to worry about it anymore because the people, they're bought. The fourth estate, the journalists are all on the same side. They all want to go to war. They don't ask the right questions. Nobody's ever asked the right question yet. And people like Chuck Todd and David Gregory say it's not even their job to call out the government when they're lying us into a war. They say it's not their job, the top news guys in the country. So that's what's really happening. That's why we have such a dysfunctional government, because journalism, the freedom of the press, journalism is one of the three professions mentioned in the Constitution. It's a linchpin to our democracy of free press, and we don't have it anymore. We have a bought press, which is corrupt.
Yeah, well, speaking of a broken system, I've got something that's actually kind of inspiring about a system. Did you know that Darth Vader and several other Star Wars characters are running for parliament in Ukraine? Yeah, that's true. I'm not making this up. This is happening not in a galaxy far, far away, right here. On October 26th, they are going to vote, and, well, we've got some video of some of the characters that are actually running for parliament in Ukraine.
Не дамо з'їсти нашого сала.
Дарт Вейдер, кандидат у народні депутати від інтернет-партії України.
All right, I don't speak Ukrainian, but yes, Internet Party. So they're running on the Internet Party. They have anyone that's running as a Star Wars character. So this includes Darth Vader, Chewbacca, Padme Amidala, Master Yoda. They had to legally change their name to do this. So these people are now truly the Star Wars characters that they proclaim to be, and they are actually running. There are several other videos you can find on YouTube if you want to see some more of their Star Wars commercials. And, well, maybe we need some of this in America. I don't even know where to start with this.
I didn't know Dick Cheney could run for vice president in another country.
Yeah, you don't have to be born in Ukraine to run in Ukraine. That's
maybe that must be it.
Yeah.
I'd vote for that guy.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the words were, but I would vote for him. I like that they got the lightsaber and there's a horse.
The harp.
Yeah, he's saying something, right?
And he doesn't know how to play the harp, right? You see that you don't do that. You don't pluck. He was plucking with the wrong hand.
So you're saying that their commercials are as big bullshit as our commercials
Looked like it.
Yeah.
I bet that's a costume and he's not really Darth Vader.
First off, all right, let's go with some silly stuff first. I mean, maybe they need Darth Vader because that's the only person Putin will listen to. Right? I mean...
The dark side.
Yeah, they need the dark side of the Force.
Are Are these people legitimately insane, or are they trying to make a bigger political statement about how stupid this is?
I think
I'm gonna go with the latter.
Yeah, I think it's the latter, but I think there is some element, like they're realizing how ridiculous the political system is, and our political system is so self-important and such bullshit. I feel like we need some of this. Like, imagine if we had some character that actually could get enough popular votes.
Ted Cruz. We got him.
Right.
What are you talking
We've had
about?
bigger clowns. No, really. I mean, if you looked at all.
Louis Gohmert.
Yeah.
Well,
Right?
this isn't the only country that does this. I was
Yeah.
literally watching John Oliver last night, who was talking about how Brazil, since everyone's required to vote, now they just make a joke out of it. They have Jesus, Satan, and a guy who shoots lasers out of his eyes all on the ballot.
Yeah.
So, maybe we need a little more of this. Because maybe this is the kind of lampooning that will make people actually go, okay, you know what, this is what the people think of us as a government. We better, shape up because this is ridiculous.
Right, so with that in mind, is that more ridiculous than our system here? Really? I mean, with all the clowns and the fakery, and we all know it's bullshit. I mean, when they do the debates, and if you're winning at the time, they put you in the center, right? And the further you're losing, but then as you start gaining more popularity, they put you more. I mean, it's all, the fix is in.
Chutes and ladders.
Exactly, and the fix is in, and we all know it. So I really think we do need something like this to shake the system.
Well, obviously the system is corrupt, right? So that's why we get such clowns. But you talk about the debates. Used to be the debates were real debates, and they were run by a third party called the League of Women Voters. Well, of course, the corrupt, corporate-owned Democrats and Republicans decided to rig the system even more. They got rid of the democracy that was involved in that, and they got rid of the citizens. So now they corporately pick their corporate hand-picked journalists to ask them non-questions.
Ask them non-questions, which they get before the debates,
Which they get
of course.
beforehand.
And also, it's not even there, by the definition of what a debate is, what we're seeing when they do these debates is not even a debate anymore. What was the old debate? The Lincoln...
Douglas.
The Lincoln Douglas. Those were debates where you
Right.
challenge someone's ideas and go back and forth and question them directly. Now they have rules where sometimes you're not even allowed to look at the person, you're not allowed to address them directly.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I mean, what a bunch of babies. Like, hold on, that's not fair. I didn't know that in advance. B, he said it's super mean.
Right.
So let's go to commercial so I can repowder and kick that guy's, helper's ass.
That's actually a funny point also, that I think that because of HDTV, it's also changed it. That when I watch the debates now, like when I was watching the Biden-Palin one from 6 years ago, I remember thinking Biden had so much work done in the hair plugs and everything,
Yes.
that's what I kept focusing
Me
on
too.
instead of anything he was saying.
So funny, I was too.
Yeah.
A lot of people say that's why Kennedy won.
Because
Because he was the
because-
better looking and the televised president.
Yeah. All right. So Star Wars in the Ukraine. Last thought on this. Did we give up on the Ukraine? What happened? How'd that whole thing work out?
I thought it all worked out. It's not all fixed.
Right. Do you have any idea how that thing worked itself
But again,
out?
I was watching Bridezilla.
Because we stopped talking about that because, the ISIS thing
Yeah.
and then Ebola coming to get us through Mexico,
Right.
according to...
Yes, Ukraine's super important, though. So important that we don't talk about it anymore.
Or,
Yeah.
the plane that went down with all the
Yeah.
crime scene of all the bodies that were moved and whatever, we're done with that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Joking aside, last I heard, Russia now pretty much owns Crimea, and they were moving nuclear warheads there. So, hopefully Darth Vader can fix that. Let's move on to internet trolls. There have been a bunch of stories lately about internet trolls and trolling that is actually sort of creeping into real life now and causing crime and sometimes some pretty terrible things. So let's look at a couple examples real quick. Brenda Leland was found dead in a hotel room earlier this month after being confronted by Sky News over her trolling of Kate and Jerry McCann, whose 3-year-old daughter went missing in 2007. Everyone heard about that story. Robin Williams' daughter quit Twitter after trolls posted fake photos claiming to be her dead father. And former model Charlotte Dawson, who was found dead at her apartment after battling depression, had been subjected to a torrent of abuse on Twitter. This is just a couple of the examples. Now, you guys are watching this on YouTube right now. You know what the comments often devolve into. For the record, by the way, I want to say something about our commenters here. Our stuff is actually pretty good, and you guys are pretty on point about what we're talking about. And for some reason, we don't get a lot of the crazy racist stuff and whatever. So for you guys right there. Jimmy, you want to applaud these people?
Yeah.
Or attack Jimmy? Oh, no?
And
Okay.
my breasts are applauding because I know they get a lot
Oh,
of
yeah,
attention.
Jimmy, yeah, Gina's breasts.
YouTube.
Huge on the YouTube. Anywho, so some bad stuff is happening, though, because we all know about the trolling. And the fact that it's actually becoming sort of a real-world consequence now is really kind of scary, don't you think?
Yeah, I think that at first, this was just like a couple people and, everybody says the same trope. Oh, it's some guy in his parents' basement. He has no life, no money, no friends. Well, I think the scary thing is these people are among us now. These people are people saying, you know what? You're famous, you're rich, you're successful. A, you deserve to be hurt, you deserve to be taken down. And B, you shouldn't be able to feel it because all of these things insulate you. Your fame, your money, you no longer have access to your feelings, which is totally insane. And I don't think I'm saying anything too controversial here by saying that anyone who did that to Robin Williams' daughter and then hid behind, well, you know, it's my free speech. You're a piece of shit. There is nothing lower than what you did.
Okay, so you hit a couple good points there, but I'm going to let you go.
Well, you know, it's just there's such a meanness in the culture now. It's even hard to keep up. Go to any YouTube video, click on the fourth commenter's comment. The fourth commenter always mercilessly rips the third commenter, right? And then the fifth commenter, the newcomer, tries to find common ground between everybody, and for that, the sixth commenter impugns his sexuality. So it's not, you know, and it's all, and the racist trolling on YouTube, and the people who are worse at that are the Puerto Ricans. I think we can all agree. So here's the thing: if you're getting, you know,
God, I wish we had a rim shot for that.
If you're getting tweeted at, and it's hurting your feelings, stop going on Twitter. That would be my advice to you. If you're going on Facebook and you're getting a lot of hurtful, stop going on Facebook. Those are all imaginary places. They don't really exist. You can go outside and have a lunch. You can see someone. You can go down to Starbucks. You can do something. You can go to Starbucks and go on Twitter.
So there's another part of trolling that I'm noticing now, which is people that are public people. So it's not just anonymous people anymore. Those are the ones usually that are attacking everyone and saying all the racist stuff and the homophobic stuff. But I'm noticing a new pattern of people that are public people. Often it's a lot of media people that are fighting with each other constantly on Twitter, publicly doing it with their names and everything. But that seems to be the new trolling, because it's like, you guys would not do this if you were sitting across a table from each other. You know what I mean? This endless bickering back and forth and making a point back, and I beat you at this point and you beat me at this point. And I think that's the new trolling, is just saying shit that you wouldn't say if they were right in front of you.
Well, and I think that just, it doesn't matter if you're famous or you're not famous. It's a gigantic platform, and it's like you're sitting there with a sold-out house. You know, you have 10,000, 50,000, a million followers, so you have all these eyeballs on you, so you might as well take advantage of those eyeballs, because they're watching and they'll listen to you.
Yeah, so, you know, as far as the anonymity of it, Huffington Post, I think, got rid of anonymous trolling, or they got rid of the anonymous commenters. Do you think we need some element of that? Because maybe not in America, where at least we have free speech for now, I think. But in some of these other countries where, you know, like Egypt, where, you know, revolutions are started because of this stuff on social media, they need some level of anonymity, right?
Well, what Huffington Post did was they decided that you had to have your Facebook, right? So you have to sign in with Facebook so we know who you are. And you know how hard it is to create a phony Facebook profile.
It could take upwards of 2 minutes, Jimmy.
Maybe a whole 60 seconds or something. So that's why that was funny to me when they did that. I was like, oh, this is being screened at the airport. This is the guy patting you down at the airport. It's all window dressing. It doesn't really mean anything. If you want to troll, you can still troll.
Yeah, any final thoughts on this?
I don't know, man. And I honestly, I think in this country, for me, I don't think there's really any reason to be anonymous when you're being a commenter. I can see how it can definitely affect people in other countries, and I'm sure there are going to be people that disagree with me. I just don't see it. I just don't know why. If you stand and be counted.
Yeah, wait, so I did get my final thought back, which jumps off that, which is there some reason that we need this? That maybe these anonymous people who are getting all this vile, gross stuff out, that maybe that's actually better than them taking it to the real world?
Yes.
Even though now it is trickling into the real world.
It fuels the real world.
You think it just...
It's not, when someone says something terrible, horrible, terrible to me online, I don't go, well, thank God they got that out of their system, because now the world's a more pleasant place. Now I'm feeling reactive. My prefrontal cortex is going crazy. My amygdala is getting hijacked. I don't think anyone's better off because of that. Touché, touché. Jimmy, bring us home.
I think it helps you develop a thick skin and dismiss things that aren't important and people's opinions who you don't even know. So I think that's a good muscle to build up. You have to build it up as a comedian.
That's true.
If you let a heckler get under your skin, he's winning, you're losing. So I just think it's one of those things. You learn how to, this is anonymous, this is funny. It's learn how to build a thick skin. That's what this, and then if you can't build it, don't read the fucking comments. That's all.
By the way, it is at Jimmy_Dore on the Twitter, so let Jimmy know how you feel. All right, let's move on Denmark is going to outlaw bestiality. Yeah, that's right. Animal sex has been legal in Denmark, and people were taking advantage of it to the point that there was actually like a tourism based on animal sex. Believe it or not, 76% of the Danish population now believe that banning sex with animals is the right thing to do, so they're going to go ahead and do it. That means 24% is still down with animal sex. All right, you know.
One in five.
One in five.
Four.
1 in 4.
Okay, I'm not a I'm not a math surgeon.
You're not a mathematician.
It's actually worse than you thought, Jamie. It's 1 in 4.
It really is. We've got a quote from Denmark's Food and Agriculture Minister. I've decided that we should ban sex with animals. That is happening for numerous reasons. Are you related to this guy, maybe? The most important is that in the vast majority of cases, it is an attack against the animals. That's a great line. And under all circumstances, any doubts about it should go to the animal's benefit. They naturally cannot say no to go along with it, therefore it should be banned. I like the part, in the vast majority of cases, it's an attack on the animal, as opposed to the lamb that's been giving you the eye all week. I mean, the fact that he even, like, that was the most political statement. Wasn't that was like the type of stuff that we make fun of in America, where they can't really, like, say anything, so they end up saying something that sounds that much worse.
Well, and then let's just juxtapose that it was the other way around, because I don't think animals are thinking, God, you know, Dave looks pretty good, but that's against the rules. If an animal attacked a human in a sexual manner, we'd shoot the animal.
Yeah.
So just food for thought.
My dog has humped my leg plenty of times, and he's a good boy.
Well, that's because you keep dog treats up your pant leg, which is
Right.
a little weird, Jimmy.
Yeah, it is a little weird. It's funny that they had to. That was just funny that he had to release a statement saying why we're going to do. He said, "Well, the reasons are numerous." Numerous. I could think of a million reasons, but I guess the big one is because you're fucking an animal.
That's the main one.
That would be the big one. That would be the big one.
Don't fuck a fish.
You know, yeah.
Doesn't it surprise you that it's Denmark? Like, this is a first world country. I guess there might be some third world countries where there wouldn't have laws in place, because there's a lot of places on Earth where we don't have the system that we have. Like, where you maybe would go, oh, they don't have a law on it, so I guess something.
Well, and the Danes are a fairly good-looking people, so I don't know why they can't just have sex with each other.
Makes you wonder.
Well, this is the Denmark NAMBLA Association, the National Organization of Man Beast Love. And they're pushing back against this. They're pushing back, mostly with their hips.
Yeah.
But what is is there a group pushing back against this?
I don't know that there's anyone actually. Well, someone's got to be upset if 24%.
25% is pushing back.
One in 4 people.
Are we being too dismissive of the people that want to have sex with animals? I mean, there's a fetish for everything, right? There is a fetish for, you name something, someone wants to hump this desk.
Yes.
Someone in this room wants to hump this desk.
I don't want to tell you who, but somebody. No, but really, there's a fetish for everything. So are we being too dismissive of these people that probably are treating the animal? You may take the animal out for dinner. Sorry.
Out to the old feed bag.
Yeah.
No, because I mean, in general, if your fetish, if your quirk, whatever, doesn't hurt anyone, doesn't encroach on anybody else's liberties, then have a good time.
What about the sheep?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean,
the sheep's going bad, Jimmy.
Ding 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 ding.
Yeah, but they can't say no, so therefore you can't do it.
All right, let's talk about the latest in sex toys and robot sex and iPhone sex and all that good stuff. There is a new app and a new vibrator called the WeVibe 4 Plus. And basically, the woman has a vibrator that she's going to stick in her, and her partner or her friend or a friend of the family or whatever weird shit you're into controls that app from a remote location. But don't take my word for it. We've got some video.
See you soon, honey.
I can't wait. Call me when you're ready.
Are you ready to give this a try?
I've been waiting all day.
Let's play. How's this?
Yeah, that's real. That's real. That's happening. We've talked a lot about robot sex, and that often the sex industry leads technology, and it obviously will work with interracial couples also, which is nice. Any thoughts? Any thoughts, Gina?
So I used to really get annoyed when, people would talk about sex toys and a man would always say, well, it's just making penises obsolete. I'm like, shut up. If you're doing it right, it's not obsolete.
Yeah.
It's gonna make it penises obsolete.
You think so? Yeah.
I mean, look, he didn't even have to be there. He feels like the man. He's turning up the volume. He's going from echo to vibrate to. He doesn't have to be there, and he feels like he's getting it done.
So is there some weird thing, people always talk about the power that's involved in sex, and one side always has more power, and I guess usually it's the man. It really seems like you're giving all the power to the man. I mean, this woman could be walking around with this thing in her all day, literally, and this guy can just be buzzing her at any point. Jimmy, do you want one for your wife?
Finally, a product for women who are too exhausted to masturbate. Right? I mean, no, this has been a big problem. I read the articles in the Cosmo and what have you, and they talk about, I would like to press on my vibrator, but if there was just an app that my husband could do it from, some kind of a public place, that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Isn't that something funny about the way they did that too? He's sitting in the park, so he's just going about his normal day. She obviously is home and on the couch.
This is one of those things, just because you have the technology doesn't mean it's worthwhile.
Yeah.
Like, I remember a guy who was a drug dealer in my neighborhood, and he bought a Cadillac, and he had a remote control for his stereo in his car, because you could have it. Because you could have this. You could have an app on your iPhone that turns on a vibrator inside your girlfriend's pussy, but that's not necessary.
It's excessive. It's just a bit much.
It's yes.
And
You remotely do it. Hey, I'm sitting at a fountain. Hey, I wonder if I could get my wife's pussy hot. What is that? What?
Yeah. And is this going to change? Is this going to change the conversations between grandparents and grandkids? Because the only thing I can think of is, in my day, we actually had to be there to get her off. I mean, this is
We had to walk up 3 flights of stairs to stick a finger in a vagina.
Yeah. All right. So wait.
I have an app.
That's actually a really great point, because I always think about that. My grandma passed away last year, and I saw all these love letters that my grandfather wrote to her, and it was, when he was fighting in the war in World War II, and the stacks of love letters. And it's like
this
now
before Bluetooth, so that was a wire that went all the way.
It was an underground and the tunnels, and 20 people died.
Say, my dearest love, stop. I am here. Stop.
There really were telegrams too, but really, they had to have this long distance. It took time for literally the paper to get across the world, where now you can meet someone on an app, send them their dick pic, they can send you the boob pic right then and there. We really are losing a little something, right?
Yes, definitely we lose that. I like the whole to do that via telegram. Please don't stop. Please stop. Don't stop. Don't.
Next message. Honestly, I think, if maybe you live far away, or if you're into some kinky stuff, do your thing. I would probably end up taking, the D batteries out of a flashlight, sticking it in there, going about my day and texting him later and saying that was fantastic.
Right, you'd be like, yeah, it was wonderful. All right, well, actually, we've got some images of the device. So that's what it looks like. So what's happening,
for your vagina.
So just to be clear, what's happening there is the bottom part is going into the vagina, and the top part is going to stimulate the clitoris. And you've got modes. You've got vibrate, you've got pulse, wave, echo, and tide. Gina, you're the only one with a vagina here.
By the way, these are the same modes you get on the elliptical. Those are the same choices.
I like to jerk off on an incline. I don't know about you.
Yeah.
That's really, if you can pick one exercise to do, it's incline jerking.
I think that's an Olympic sport.
I think it
is.
Obviously
you go to the gym in West Hollywood.
Definitely. You kidding me?
That's where that's an insider.
I go to all of them. 24-hour fitness, which is not 24 hours.
That's where I go. It's not 24 hours. All right. Well, anyway, if you get one of these, message us in the comments below, and we'll, I don't know, maybe we'll get one. I don't know, you want one? Maybe, I don't know.
Hey, I'll go stand over there behind the TV. You guys go at it with the controllers, and I'll let you know how it goes.
TV is actually killing you. Yeah, that's right. A new study from the University of Queensland in Australia found out that after the age of 25, for every hour of TV that you watch, it cuts 22 minutes off your life. We've got more from the study. Researchers looked at the TV viewing habits of 11,000 Australians from the decade-long Australian Diabetes, Obesity, and Lifestyle Survey. Compared with adults who watch no TV, Australians who spend a lifetime average of 6 hours per day in front of the tube can expect to live 4.8 years less. The study's author says that watching TV is as unhealthy as smoking or being obese. Okay, so I know when we do a lot of stuff on studies, people all jump on the methodology of the studies and all that kind of stuff. So yes, if you watch, it's not that the TV is killing you necessarily, or that rays from the TV are killing you, but you might be more inclined to be snacking while you eat, or then you don't get as much exercise or all that. So let's take into account all those factors. But that being said, I mean, the takeaway here is that sitting around on your ass is not good for you.
It's not good, and I think it's ironic that it takes 22 minutes off your life, because with commercial breaks, that's how long a half-hour sitcom is. So
it's exactly 22 minutes,
it makes
right?
perfect sense, and I'm so glad you said that, because
That's fucking hilarious.
it's true, right? Because it's not about staring at the TV. It's about you're just sitting there being sedentary and you're mindlessly shoveling food into your mouth. So yeah, I can see why that would kill you.
Good God, that means that Three's Company alone probably took a year off my life from the early 80s. That's terrible.
You know, one of my all-time favorite comedians, Bill Hicks, made this point that, you live it takes 4.5 years off your life, but it's the last 4.5 years. It's the 4 that you're sitting around shitting your green jumper, right? Who cares about those fucking 4 years, right? I'll watch TV, enjoy my life, and die when I'm supposed to before all that shit happens to me. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, so do you think the binge watching is making this even worse? Because I just started this binge watching thing with Netflix. So like, you know, Orange is the New Black, and what's the one with Kevin Spacey? House of Cards. And now I'm doing even Walking Dead and some of the other stuff. Really? Just where literally you could take a day and just from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. just basically not move. It seems like it's making it worse.
I think it is worse. So I guess the question is, how long until that becomes illegal? And Netflix has to sort of deconstruct how they do that and say, you know what?
You mean the government? You mean Michelle Obama is going to go, this is making you not healthy?
Maybe somebody's going to say, you know what? This is if this is killing people faster than smoking, then guess what? You only get, when you watch one, there has to be another hour before you can access the next one.
You know, I often thought that there should be a Surgeon General warning on according to Jim. But we never...
The comedy in this show might kill you.
We never got that far.
That was a good one. That was good. That was
but
good.
we don't have a Surgeon General right now.
Yeah, but really, when you watch some of this stuff, to me, it's like I watch some TV shows and I just get enraged. Like there's a new comedy that just debuted, and I'm not even going to mention it because I know some of the people that are involved in it, and Jimmy's probably going to write it down right now.
Me too.
And we can look at it after. You can write it down right now. Oh, she got it.
Yeah.
Let me see your paper. Okay, so she got it already, and it's fucking horrible. It's a network television that is just profoundly horrible. And I know so many great comics who have worked for so long, Jimmy Dore included, who could deserve more. And that shit, I watch it, and then I had a headache after.
You talk about
for like an
with the
hour.
M?
No, it doesn't matter what it is. But for an hour.
What did she write?
Just put this, eat that. But really, like after an hour, I was like, God, that was painful. It was painful to watch. It was actually causing a physical problem.
It bothered you because you are in the same business.
Yeah.
You'd like to have an attempt to do something like that, and you're saying, "Wow, they're using this time to do shit like that."
Yes. So I know I'm not. This is not exactly what the study's about. I'm just making it about me, I guess.
But you get in. Yeah. So you get in. You get enraged, right? And but the shows that I watch, I get engorged, which is a little different.
So you're watching a lot of those cooking shows or?
Cooking shows. Yes, cooking shows.
But do you watch anything on TV that makes you feel better at the end? Like I just watched The Strain.
Shark
It was so
Tank.
strange. I just started watching Shark Tank, and I do feel better at the end.
I feel smarter.
Yeah.
I do. You learn. You are learning.
You buy some of that stuff, the flip books and the peanut butter?
I haven't bought anything.
I haven't bought anything.
You know what show 100% of the time makes me feel better? And every time I watch it, I text my boyfriend and tell him how much I love him.
What's that?
Bridezillas. Because a little bit of schadenfreude, I think, is a good thing. And I despise those people. I despise reality television, yet here I am binge watching it on Netflix. And I'm thinking, she is emotionally disturbed and a crazy bitch. He is some whipped jerk off that doesn't think he can do any better. I am so thankful not to be her and not to attract him that I call my boyfriend every time to tell him how much I love him.
No, isn't that nice?
Yeah.
That is nice.
Yeah.
All right, well, I hope and I think that we might have extended your life by watching this edition of the Rubin Report. Thank you, Gina. Thank you, Jimmy. Their Twitters are right down below.
Hey,
Jimmy particularly would like you to comment at him and write vile and horrible, racist, homophobic, what other kind of things do you like?
And please buy my book, Your Country is Just Not That Into You, which I should have a copy, but I don't. Your Country is Just Not That Into You. It's out now. It's a bestseller.
There you go. All right, thanks for watching, everybody, and we will do this again next week.